There are athletes I have met who have regretted their commitment they've made to athletics. But I've met more people who regret that they haven't made the commitment and didn't throw that dice looking for a six, and that has really haunted them for the rest of their lives.
Everything for me revolves around running. So every decision I make is based on running. And I've had to make a lot of, sacrifices, missing friends' birthdays, not seeing the wife as much as I really would like to, or as probably I should. Big picture for me has always been to try and represent my country. The family and wife and friends are fully supportive, and they kind of know that it's not a decision I take lightly. It's just something I have to do to be the best that I can be.
Conor's a bit of an anomaly in Derry in the sense that Conor's first love is track athletics, whereas the sport really these days is geared towards road running, running marathons and half marathons and stuff like that, which really doesn't suit Conor's talents. Conor has some really, really good times over 800 and 1500, and he narrowly missed breaking 4 minutes for the mile, which really puts him in the top tier of track runners, and that's always where his ambition has been. Right guys, just over 7 minutes to go. It's a big undertaking starting your own club, but really the sport has moved in a different direction over the last decade or two, and track running has become neglected again. We see that on social media, that it's all about running on the road and running marathons and all the rest of it, but we like to think that really, I'm reluctant to use the word pure, but I would say pure athletics is on a 400 metre track. That's where the Olympics are, that's where European Championships are, and that's really where our interest lies as well. Absolutely no hiding place. You're out there, you're on your own. It's a test of character. We're doing New Zealand Park for 12 minutes. That's only going to be about, what, 6 laps or something. Well, I mean, I don't see that your life and your running career are mutually exclusive. One is very much tangled up on the other, and I think if you don't have commitment and discipline in your life, you don't bring it into your athletics, and vice versa. And that discipline then transfers across the whole spectrum, all the aspects of your life. Well, I mean, I have a lifelong love-hate relationship, shall we say, with athletics. I started as a schoolboy at St Colm's College here in Derry. I ran National League athletics in England. I was Northern Ireland champion over 800 metres, Ulster champion over 400 and 1500. And then toward the end of my career, I started concentrating and coaching other people.
He's keeping his form well in the back straight. Working well. Looking good.
I coached Conor for a period, and it was obvious to me, in my opinion anyway, that Conor could have been close to world class, given the right circumstances. But he has been injury prone, and I think that really has blighted his career and has prevented him maybe reaching a level that he was capable of but hasn't until now. I think time is running out for him, and I think really that he's probably aware of that, and that he has only got a small amount of time to realise that vast potential that he has. I think he's going to give this track season a real good go, and he's going to use it as a springboard then into the cross-country season. And I know that he would really want to be representing Ireland in the 2019 European Cross-Country Championships, which are in Lisbon in December. Obsession. It's not right, but to succeed you have to be obsessed with what you're doing. And okay, you have a price to pay in relationships and family relationships and possibly in your work, but you have to be obsessed with what you want to do and what you want to become. And that's what marks out the champions and the people who are remembered timelessly over the people who prefer to go and have a couple of pints and maybe not commit themselves in the same manner.
It's a case of getting up at 6:30 in the morning when the rain and wind is battering on the window, and you're thinking, this is the last thing I want to be doing. But somehow you just manage to lace up the shoes and get out the door. You just have that mental fortitude just to keep pushing on, because you know it's what needs to be done. It's what your competitors are doing, you know. The body's just screaming at me to stop, you know. I'm just completely fatigued, mentally and physically. So at the end of 2018, I was basically in my 6th year of injuries on and off, and I was just mentally tired, to be honest. And it's tough to keep getting fit, to keep getting injured. So I just decided I needed to step away. I couldn't do it anymore. At the end of 2018, I basically just hung up the spikes, to be honest, and stepped away from the sport. And for the first few weeks, it was great. You know, you could go to work from 9 to 5, and then you could come home and have your dinner at a reasonable hour, and you could sit and watch TV, and you could walk your dog. But after a few weeks, you start to realise that you actually loved running, you know, and you kind of need it in your life for kind of mental sanity, and keeps your mental health up. You know, I was find myself getting a wee bit down because I had nothing to do with myself. So it was kind of about April time. I decided I'm not going to get back competing. I'm just going to start back running. So I would go out and just run for as long as I want, as hard as I want. I just started to get back doing what I enjoyed. Possibly it was, you know, taking the stress and the pressure away from, you know, trying to compete at a high level, try and win national titles and big races and things, where I was just taking things day by day. Again, not worrying, no anxiety or anything about trying to compete or race. That may have played a part in terms of keeping me healthy, because as runners we do overthink things, you know, and we have to train every day, and if we take a day off, then we're thinking the competitors are getting ahead, you know, they're working when I'm not working, you know, and all these things are going through your head. So it is a stressful environment, and mentally switching off, you know, and taking all the stress and pressure away from running and performing, I think benefited me and enabled me to run those fast times that I did in the summer of 2019.
Certainly not a track season that you would sort of kind of say this is the template that everybody should use, but it actually has worked out remarkably well. Key events that you really want to be in is number one is Cork City Sports.
2019 Cork City Sports, a great crowd as usual. So away we go then. The John Buckley Sports men's 3,000 metres. It's Tiernan, Bradley, Dooney, Rossiter, Hopkins, Renitsky of the United States.
3K was probably one of the first monkeys, I suppose, off his back.
Conor Bradley, first Irishman, 7:58.
And number 2 is the Morton. Morton has a massive history going back to years and years and years. Fantastic to have that on your doorstep, if you like. And very much the whole approach has been step by step, and he's very much on pace and knows where he is. You know, you've had an unbelievable run, the run of his life, and now you're coming into, there's almost the pressure starting to build, and again there's another, you know, breaking that 14-minute barrier is a big one.
Measure of just how apocalyptic these conditions have become for these men. You can see the rain falling under the floodlights there. It's nasty for these guys, but as you said earlier, they're used to misery, so you don't sign up for a world-class 5,000 metres unless you're capable of dealing with an enormous amount of pain.
Abject misery. Conor Dooney is in this one, Conor Bradley as well, Brian Fay and Colm Rooney, all the Irish athletes.
I hadn't ran any 5Ks in the summer, so I wasn't actually sure what sort of shape I was in.
Half laps here, the officials just counting them out, saying, lads, this is going to hurt. There's no way around it.
I was quite confident that I could do it, but on the day it was quite windy and it was really, really raining.
So this now he's gone around the outside there of 105, causing the whole group to fall there. 3 or 4 other athletes falling, but
To just stick to the task and try and break 14, and I was able to do that, thankfully.
Have you seen these ones before?
No, where'd you get them?
Bought them online. You still have to get a pair of red ones too.
Yeah.
There we go.
Fancy down. We've been training for the past couple of years anyway. When you're back,
Aye.
you see, Fenton's more 1,500 meters and I'm more 510. But sometimes we can touch base together. You know, when he's doing some distance work and I'm doing some distance work, or vice versa when I'm doing some speed. You know, we can sort of tie in and kind of, for his strengths and weaknesses, complement mine. You know, whereas I can work well on the more endurance stuff, and he can push me really hard in the speed stuff. So it kind of works.
That's where the 10k and the 1500 runners go our separate ways. I know, he's definitely I think he's got some pretty, he's still faster than me over every distance, including the 15 and 800. He's never really had it a solid 2 years. I think he'd be absolutely phenomenal. He's always just had a wee something here and there, just from learning. I think we're going to see something really big, which I'm excited for as well.
Well, Conor really has a lot of opposition at national level. We've never been as well blessed, or at least for a number of decades. And really and truly, it's getting more difficult every day to make an Irish distance running team. Not only is it competitive here, but these people can compete at least in Europe, although possibly not at world level just at the moment.
He's going to take the national title! Champion!
I crossed the line at the Irish National Cross Country Championships in 4th place, and I was quite confident that I would get selected for Ireland at the Eurocross at the start of December. I think they made their selections that night. The next day I got an email from Athletics Ireland saying congratulations, you've been selected to represent Ireland at the European Cross Country. So it was an absolutely unbelievable email to be opening on a Sunday morning. Then it was all go for the European Cross Country. Fitness was there, it was just about keeping the momentum going for the next 2 weeks. At the end of the day, you can only focus on what you can do and run your best race to ensure that you finish as high as possible.
Friends of athletics, welcome to the European Athletics Bar Championships in Cross in Lisbon 2019.
Well, it is slightly different in terms of, you know, when you're usually going to a race in Ireland, you're usually one of the top few, whereas when you're going to the European cross country, it's absolutely stacked. So everyone is as good as you, if not better.
So it's going to be an intriguing race as we settle down.
Few wobbles in the start line. It's often a very long hold time there on a cross-country start line. But
when we got to Lisbon, of course, he was running there against the cream of Europe's cross-country runners. It was really, it was satisfaction, I'm sure, to him, his coach, and to everybody who knew him. Probably wasn't suited by our course, which was uphill and down Dale for 10 kilometres. But nevertheless, he got stuck in, he dug in.
I knew kind of what I wanted to do in the race, and I managed to play it out. I would have liked a few spots higher, but that's the way things go. You know, you're always wanting more and expecting more.
So not only was it a positive day for Conor, but it was also a positive day for the country. It got 4 medals, 2 individual and 2 team, which was twice as many as we'd ever achieved before that. The under-23 women won a medal, the senior women won a medal, and we had also 2 individuals on the presentation. Stephanie Cotter from Cork in the women's under-23 race.
if you grow up running Irish cross country, I'd say this course, you might not think this course was a big deal at all. They have very tough courses over there.
And an excellent bronze medal for Stephanie Cotter of Ireland. A terrific performance there.
And then we had perhaps the fairy tale of the day, the rags to riches story of Ephraim Giddy.
And it really looks like the Irish guys have kind of decided they want a hard run race, and that doesn't necessarily mean leaving Ingebrigtsen to do what suits him.
What a moment this could be for Ireland if Giddy could hold that position, because this would not be expected. He didn't run in the junior race at the
Someone who's an immigrant to this country from Eritrea, who at one time was in the holding camp at Cali, came here, was naturalised, a member of Clonmel Harriers, and he won a bronze medal in the junior men's race.
Representing the country and putting on the green vest meant everything to me. It's driven me on now that I want to do it more. I want to represent Ireland a lot more times.
Well, my experience of athletes over quite a number of years is that they're never really satisfied with their performance. No matter how well objectively you look at it that they've done, their subjective opinion is that they can do better. And I think that's really what drives really good athletes on, is that desire for perfection, that desire to be better. That's what gets them up early in the morning to go out running when everyone else is in their bed. It's what drives them around the track in the worst of conditions. So really and truly what might be a disappointment to many people is what really good athletes with character thrive on.